Good afternoon, Candlepin fans. We are here at Ryan's Family Amusements in Millis, Massachusetts, and we're going to see the ACST B South Division. Will Koscielny is hosting James O'Brien, and two great bowlers with what promises to be a close and well-fought-out match. So, bowlers, shake hands, come out fighting. We've done the weigh-in. We know where they all stand, and home bowler typically goes second, but in this match, Will has chosen to go first. There's a few bowlers that like to do that. And we are on lanes 19 and 20 today, rather than the usual 20 and 21. I'll check in on the phone, see who comes to see me, but hopefully we'll have some good visitors. And we are about to get underway. Will Koscielny, first ball, just off the head pin, comes in on the 3. Takes out 5, avoids a half Worcester. He's got the 1, 2, 4, 6 and 10. Makes a bid at it, puts it through the bunny hole. And we've already got some viewers, so I'm looking for your comments. Let me know you're here. And there we go, that's a better adjustment, and Will starts out with a 7 box. I was picking on Will a few minutes ago. He's wearing a regular polo shirt, doesn't have a ACST shirt after 3 years in the division. Him and I bowled each other a few times, and he comes on pretty good. That time he's on the 4 pin and just takes out that left triangle. And coming in, just missed the object. Not bad, the 1, 2 pins are the only ones standing. Our format today, as always in the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, is a 5-game match. Nice 10 box by Will, took it off the wall. So he's a 17 through 2. I've got the scoreboard in range of the camera, but may not be visible, so I will give you the scores frequently during this match. Bowlers are competing for points. There are 16 bowlers in each division. This is B South. B North also has 16. And they're broken into groups of 4. So you bowl the 3 other bowlers in your conference twice and everybody else once for an 18-game season. This is week 6 for these guys. The whole purpose of the bowling, 7 box gives him a 24 through 3. The whole purpose of the matches is to accrue points. Winner of each game, and these are scratch, there's no handicap. Winner of each game wins 2 points. Winner of the total pinfall, and that was a nice ball by Will. He put it right in the pocket, left a 5-8. Looked like a strike all day long. He's got the 5-8 and a good spare lead. So the winner of total gets 4. So 14 points to be divided between the bowlers here, and the point totals are what determines who makes the playoffs at the end of the season. So Will missed the spare attempt. Still open through 4. Looking for a 10. Gets it. That's the shot he wanted for a second ball. But he got a good ball in there in the first one, so he's honing in on that head pin now. All right, coming into box 5. Then we'll switch. Bowlers bowl 5 boxes at a time. A little different than casual bowling with maybe some of your friends. If you aren't used to watching Candlepin in competition, we usually bowl 5 frames or boxes. In Candlepin, we call it boxes. Usually bowl 5 boxes at a time, sometimes 2. But a little different than my 10-pin days, going out, having beer bowling with some friends, and we get up and bowl one frame and sit down and alternate. We don't do that here. It's a little faster pace. 7 box for Will. So Will Koscielny sits down with a 41 after 4. He's got about a 104 average. So he's a little under average right now. Hi, Ed Woodside. Good to see you. If I don't mention your name, it's because your name didn't come up on the screen. All right, James O'Brien. strong bowler. And nice start. That was a not a head pin hit, but the head pin came down with a pin rolling from back. He's got the 5-8 left. See if he has better luck than Will did on that leave. And he picks off just the 8 pins. So 2 together, sometimes hard to hit. I know I've had trouble with that. I know a lot of other bowlers. It looks really easy, like no problem, but it's so easy to pick off 1 or go wide. And James starts out with a 9. Grab my battery from my phone. Glenn Gill, hey Glenn. J-O-B. That's what we call James O'Brien. And then James O'Brien punches out a half Worcester left. Not anybody's favorite leave, but you know what? Sometimes it goes, and when it does, it's pretty. He's going on the outside. He picks it up. First mark of the match goes to James O'Brien with a half Worcester, and he played it a little different than a lot of bowlers do. A lot of us like to play the inside of that hole, which is aggressive. He went for the 1-3 pocket, and it worked great. On the fill. He's on the head pin. Look at this. Nice head pin hit. And 9 in the fill, so that puts James at 28 early in this game. And 7 pins standing alone, 2 pieces of wood. There's one right next to the 7. There's one way out, so, and there's 2 off to the right that don't matter anything. So he's going to give it a bid. And he gets it, 2 in a row for James. Played to the left of the wood. I was thinking playing to the right, but that worked too. So James is off to a good start here. With 38 and a ball, he'll take the lead early. On the fill again, all over the head pin. Still some late action, and that's a split. So 7 in the fill puts him in. All right, we have some scoring errors there. He picks up another spare. All right, yeah, so the machine gave him a strike. It gave him a 9 box. On the last one, so yeah, so he had a spare, and he had a spare in the second, in the third. So I'm keeping score on paper here actually. So I've got him at 45, 55 in a ball. Now you got to remove that frame and go to, yeah, remove. If you want, I can come up and fix it. Get some on camera time. All right, Will, you go back there. You hit remove frame and red key. Do it twice. There you go. All right, so electronic scoring is a little tricky. It varies a little bit in different ones. Kendrick Payne, hello. All right. Are you doing remove frame and then red? All right, and then go back one and give him a mark. Now put the spare in. All right, we're getting there. So one thing great about Candlepin bowling nowadays, you got to be a computer expert sometimes to make that work. A lot of us grew up in the days of paper. So there we got that first spare. 7 on the fill. 7 on the fill. Yep. So your next ball was a 7, and there you go. You're in the gold again, and then you got another spare. They can't hear me, so. All right, you're good. We're good. We're good. We almost had to call out the IT department. But that's 55 in a ball. James is off to a great start with 3 spares in a row. We do not pay $50 for that, like the old TV shows did. He's on the fill and punches out to the right, so 2 in the fill, 57 through 4. We got to see him spare the half Worcester left. Let's see if he can do the half Worcester right. He comes in, trying to go to the pocket, just punches out that 4 pin, so now he's got a bunch down there. Still has a good half going, but sure would like to clean this up and get into the mid-60s anyway. And hey, what? That's not bad. 764. So here we are, halfway through game 1. And James O'Brien has a healthy lead of 64-41 over Will Koscielny. But it's early in this match and we have a lot going on. So love to hear from you guys. Compliments, complaints. Get a new announcer. Whatever you want to say. It's okay. I'm not offended. Koscielny was off to the left. He took out that back triangle, and that ball just took out the 2 and the 10. That was a little weird, but it worked. So he still has 5 pins down there. And bangs it down a little bit for a 7 box. He's at 48 in the 6 box. I posted this, as I do sometimes, on my personal homepage. I know everybody wants to hear my voice, but even more importantly, I like some of my friends and family and that don't live in Massachusetts or New England. I like them to see our sport. Will's on the head pin, drops 9. That's just a 7 pin. Gets it. A little wide, but it worked. That's his first mark. So he probably wanted to play more toward the pin. He was fortunate that he capped that wood to the right, and it carried the spare. So that puts Will at 58 and a ball. On the 3 pin, it gets 4 down. So 4 in the fill, 62. Still playing from behind. Kendrick, you're absolutely right. I know you can fix that. I tried to tell them from here, but they couldn't hear me. All right. So a head pin hit on the spare attempt, but it went around, just leaves the triangle. So looking for a 10. He's going to need a mark to get 100. And he'll take an 8 for 70 through 8. All right. I'm watching on 3 screens here, and Will starts box 9 with a hammer. Big time hammer. No doubter. Made it look easy. Every bowler wishes they could do that every time. But that's a big strike for Will. He hit that so hard it's taken a while for the pin tubes to refill for a reset. Nico, how are you? So we use manual reset during these matches. They're automatic during the open bowling. We have a ton of open bowlers here today, and Nico, we just saw Will go to the left, pick off just a 7. Fortunately, he has a second fill ball he wants to take advantage of here in the 10th. That's better. All right, just 6. 86 through 9, and he still has 4 pins left to close out game 1. Dimitri, good to see you. Going for the the 4 horsemen, picks off 2, so an 8 box. And Will Koscielny's first game of this match is in the books with a 94. I'm doing okay, Nico. Hobbling around. Got off to a little bit of a late start today because my dear husky Ivan decided to get under the fence again, like he's done 3 times this week, and sent me on a wild goose chase trying to find a husky. And with my walking now being hampered, it's not an easy task. But we got here. We got the dog. Oh, sorry to hear that. I see Andrew Ivanos. Oh, good bid for James. Didn't pick up the spare on that one. 1 pin left. And a 9 box. So James is a 73 through 6. He's in great shape for this string. And I was just talking on a separate line with Andrew Ivanovskis, who we were going to try to cover his match this morning, but the two matches are stacked on top of each other. Just couldn't do it. All right, James yelling at the pins or at himself because he put the ball in a 2. Wants to get back on that head pin. All right, that's better. Everything but the head pin. Hit the 3. And a 9.
Come on, James.
Missed the head pin. Left that one alone.
Come on, man.
82. Who's here?
Oh, hey. What's up,
Mike
man?
Nardone. I don't know. If we want chaos, we might put Nardone on the mic.
Yeah, I'm on the clock.
He looks respectable today, though.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, there's a nice pocket shot for James. And just the 5 and the 8, 9, and look at that wood. What do you think of that, Mike?
Yeah, just hit that 5 pin.
5-pin drives it, and it does.
There you go.
Mark it up for James O'Brien in the 8th. And
How you doing, bud? How was your Thanksgiving?
it was all right. My son did Thanksgiving for the first time.
Oh, nice.
However, my daughter had to help him because she called him and said, "What did you do for shopping?" "Well, I have some onions and butter." And she said,
Oh, look at that.
"Look at that, 8 in the fill."
Ocean ball there.
So I'm proud of my son Josh doing his first Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And proud of my daughter Jillian for taking him to the grocery store and getting what he needed.
Nice, nice.
And I didn't have to cook. I didn't have to cook. I didn't have to clean any dishes. It's awesome. James has won game 1. And he's at, that was an 8 fill. He's at 100. Mike, you have a Nico match at 5?
Yeah, an academy.
I ought to cover some of those one of these days.
Yeah, right.
All right.
There you go. Come on, one on the end.
And that's $10. O'Brien at 110. One more box to go. Yeah, I've been staying close to home mostly lately. I've been out to Timber. I was on the Cape a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, my partner's Mark Webber, so it's hard to be close to home.
Yeah. I got to pace a little bit right now.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh, there it is.
Attaboy.
That is James' 5th mark in this game. He's at 120 in a ball. He's putting on a show here.
That's what you want to do. If they leave the door open, you want to get on them as early as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Another ocean ball. Hey.
And
I keep
7.
off that all day.
127. Decisive win by James O'Brien. 127 to 94 in game 1, but 4 more to go. And I've seen leads switch often in this stuff. But I'd rather be up. What's that? 33 than down 33.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Will starts game 2 off on the 2-pin and leaves a 136. Oh, just missed. I'm thinking he might want to slow it down just a little bit. I think he's rushing a little bit. Just slow it down. And that's better. He gets the 9. Don't want to walk away with a 7 on that. All right, looking at the live producer now. All right, Will's back up for box 2. And I'll look at my own page for right now. Look at that ball. Oh, wow. Put it in a 1-2 pocket. That looked like a strike all day long. But came in a tad straight, so that's probably why it just picked off that left side. But that was a good ball by Will. But a head pin and a split. He's going to the side. Great idea, and there it goes. What a shot by Will. Played off the wall and picks up a beautiful spare in box 2. And see, I can get excited too. All right, Will on the fill. Maybe I'll use that as a lyric in a song. As you know, I'm a songwriter. So 6 in the fill, Will on the fill. 25 through 2, and he's got the 4 horsemen left. 1, 2, 4, 7. He's in there, and everything but the head pin. Really close. All right, head pin only. Don't want to leave that. And he does. So a 9, and Koscielny's at 34 through 3. And he's improved on this string. He's 10 pins over where he was in the second string. Hi, Jeff Littles. Patrick Kellogg, hello. Koscielny coming into box 4. Just off. All right, that's better. He's got the 1-9. That's makeable. I love that shot. You can actually play either side of the head pin. I like to go to the inside. Not that I bowled recently. But sometimes if you err and go to the left of the head pin like that, not enough to catch it. But you got to hit it. You can solve a lot of problems if you hit the pins. And that'll be an 8. So 42 through 4, and he's actually ahead of his first half in the last game. So definitely picking it up. Will's throwing a 30-mile-an-hour ball here. He's got some force behind him. And I'm glad I'm not bowling with Will because he uses the exact same balls that I do, which are we both use the urethane balls in blue, white, and red swirl. So Will drops 7. He's got the 1-2-8. I remember bowling against him one time when we were confusing our balls. I have my initials engraved into mine, but can't really see it very well. And there's a 10, so a much better half for Will that time. And he put a 52 half up. And actually his second half of game 1 was 53, so Will's coming back. Billy Shiner. Hello, Billy. All right, James put on a great show in game 1 with the 127-94. And he's coming up for game 2, trying to keep it going. Ball 1, game 2. These guys are bowling pretty fast, and he puts that over on the 4-pin and just takes out the 4-7. So most bowlers are going to say, I want to get a strike ball here to pick this leave up. James is in there. Little full, leaves the check mark right. That would be the 3, 5, 6, 10. So, definitely an open box in box 1. Get the check mark, makeable, and he gets it. Nice 10. I can tell James is pumped up today. J-O-B. All right, ball 1. Over on the 2. So this is interesting. He only took out 3 pins, but he's got a 4 horsemen and a triangle, and that would maybe a big help if he can catch it. Catches a head pin, and it deflected the ball to the right, so it didn't help. So another open box, 5 pins up there to pick up. And he's off, so a 7. 17 through 2. Koscielny's got the early lead. All right. No snow here, Nico. It's kind of chilly. And O'Brien coming into box 3. And leaves the 179, so off the head pin. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
All right, is Charlie here?
Oh, come on. This is the girlfriend. Oh, fiance.
Oh, that's right. Talking to Charlie Collins' mom. Meantime, James missed his spare opportunity and picks up the 10. 27 through 3. He's down 7 in completed boxes. You have a match?
I have a match, yeah.
Who are you bowling?
So one of the guys dropped out of our division.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, I know. I know Steve. I covered him a couple weeks ago.
oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
Yeah, I never met him.
There he is. There he is. I can expand my camera view.
Nice to meet you.
So we're going to have another match going on beside us here. If anything spectacular happens, I'll tell you. O'Brien on the head pin with a 7-10 split. Did not get the spare. Trying to convert for a 10, and he called it off. So that's a not 8 box. 35 came out of the channel. Bowlers are very, very good about calling their own fouls. And you got to respect that in this game. Some big tournaments we have line judges in that, but in these smaller venue situations, the bowlers are expected to use the honor system, and they do. O'Brien on the head pin that time. This is his 5th box. He's got the 3-5-9 makeable spare and leaves a 3. So James will be open for all 5 this time, slowing down off his 127 first game. And that's a 10. So halfway through game 2, Will Koscielny leads 52-42. Chips away a little bit of that 37 pin lead that James put up in the first string. We're going to switch back over to lane 20. And Will's going to start the second half. First ball in the head pin, and look at that. He's going to break it. Does not break. He has a castle left. 4-5-7. As is typical in those leaves, as I've talked about a million times, there's 2 pieces of wood. Tough leave. He's gone too far. Loses a pin. So just a 5-7. Sorry I took this table.
How you been holding up?
Yeah, I was late getting here because I had to go chase a husky. And that will be an 8 box for Will. And he's a 60-6, right on par. So it's been fun doing a lot of these lately, because if you're watching live, it looks like we don't get a ton of viewership. Watch the recordings. Last couple of matches we did, which were in the D division, both posted more than 1,500 views. A divisions usually we have 5,000 or 6,000, but that's pretty good for the entry-level leagues. Look at that, nice shot by Will. Beautiful shot. Hey, there's Rob Roby. All right, so that was a nice 189 conversion by Koscielny. And Will on a fill. And put it in the ocean, but got a little extra action there. So only 5 in the fill, but could have been a lot worse than that. He's a 75. 4 in the fill? Okay, I missed one. So 4 in the fill. Doesn't matter. He's got another mark, so we'll correct my score sheet. 4 in the fill, 74 through 7, and with that mark, he's at 84 plus a ball. Coming into the 8th box. Much improved over game 1. On the fill again, catches the 1-3 pocket, only puts 5 on it, and he's at 89. He's ahead of his first game. He's got a cluster down there. He can put it in the middle. He's in there, and a little full. Leaves a castle left. No wood. All right, get a couple. That's what he's doing. That's the right way to do that. A 9, he's a 98 through 9. And Will is likely to hit his average on this string. All right, on the head pin, nice ball. In the 1-2 pocket, and Will leaves a triangle to 3-5-6. Triangles are deceptive. They look simple. They aren't always. But when they go, it's great. So he's in there, and he gets it. Another mark for Will. So 4 marks in his string. Well done. And that puts him at 108 plus a ball. This is the Will Koscielny we're used to seeing. on the fill. It's the 2-pin, but look at the late action. He's willing those pins over, and that's a 6 fill. And that gives him a 114. Nice game for Koscielny. 114 for his second. And he's at 208 through 2. That does some damage to the total lead that James left up. All right, James coming in the second half of game 2. He's off to the left. Picks up 5 pins, leaves 5 pins. Another ACST match coming up to our right. You're going to see some of those bowlers. I'm not covering the match right now. Charlie Collins' mom, Lori, is on the lanes. And James puts up a 10 box. Late falling pins. And he is at 55 through 6. All right, so he's only down 5 pins right now in this string. But he's up against a spare 4, a spare 5, and then in the 10th, a spare 7. So he's got work to do. First ball, right in there. Are you kidding me? Buried that in the pocket. Doesn't get much better than that on a first ball, and he's left with a 4-7-10 split. I'll give him a dot in a circle for that one. Going to the left as he should, trying to play it off the wall. It gets caught in a channel, so no spare of that one. But he gave it a good effort. For the 10, trying to catch that wood, gets a 9, 64. So now he's down 10 pins and completed. And we're coming into box 8. James on the head pin nicely. Another split. This one's a little more interesting. He's got the 3, 6, 7, 10. The wood's, I think, helpful. And he gets it. Beautifully done by Will Bryant. That was a perfect shot. He read that right. Got that 7 pin to go last. So now he's on the fill. He's at 74. He's got a ground to make up here on this. Needs a big mark here, and not what you wanted to see. A 2 fill. Just punched the 1-5. So he's at 76 through 8. And a spread eagle plus the talons, and now bad goes to worse. He just punches out the 4. So after 2 balls, 3 pins down, 7 up, he needs an out. And 1 more, and that's a 4 box. And James is at 80. And that makes it Will's game. He can't get it with a triple strike at this point. He's going to try to do something. He drops 1. Will Bryant's not going to lose this one easy. So strike for James. Beautiful strike. And he's at 90 and 2 balls. Best he can do is a 110, but he's working hard to preserve his strong lead on total. All right. Second ball going for a double. Not going to get a double. Maybe. Slow falling, but 7 in the first ball. 1, 3, 7 leave. So he's at 97. And despite his best efforts, he only gets 1 to go, so 8. And Will Koscielny wins game 2, 114 to 98. O'Brien now at 225. So a 17-pin lead in total. Koscielny chipped away at that total. I've bowled Will too, and he does that. I thought I had him the first game one time, and he came back strong. Right, game 3, middle game of our match here. Koscielny starts us out. And again, he's the home bowler here. Usually home bowlers like to go second. He likes to go first. And he put that on the head pin. Leaves 5. Just off the object. So an open box in box 1. You guys have gotten quiet out there in viewer land. I'd like to hear from some of you. I can't do what I used to do in my radio show back in college. So I'll tell a short story. We had a station I worked on in college that was publicly funded to some degree and funded by donors. And part of our deal is that there was a church group that had the morning hours. So these little old ladies would come in with their church records and up until noon play gospel music. Afternoon we became album-oriented rock, WEAX Angola, the home of kick-ass rock and roll. So a big switchover. When I was on, sometimes if things got too quiet, nobody was calling, alone in the studio, that's a 9 box for Will, I try to get people to call, give me your requests, let me know what's going on. So once I got very frustrated sitting in this windowless booth under the building. So I put on one of the gospel records. Friday night parties are going on. My phone lit up then. Everybody yelling at me and complaining. And so I said, I got your attention. And I didn't have to do that again. Koscielny put that ball on a 3. It took out a half Worcester plus a couple extra. And that's 2 more. So still has the 1, 8, 6, and 10. And he's going to clean up with a 7. 25 through 3. All right, looking for comments. Let's see if we can get some. Koscielny on that 2-pin lead takes out 7. Spare leave here, the 1, 3, 6. And there's a spare for Will. Spare in the 4th for Will. No, 1 head pin hit so far. He had two marks in the 1st. Spare strike. He put 4 marks up in the 2nd. And here we go. Michael Izzo. Oh boy. Will didn't like that, and he only got 3 in the fill. Hit the 3-pin, and it took out that middle line. It took the 3, 5, and 8. I don't know how you do that, but it happens. 4 horsemen plus a triangle just gets the 9. So Will's at 38 through 4. He'll be under 50 on this half. Good benchmark for bowlers in this territory. We like to be over 50, and that's a 5. 43 half for Will, despite some pretty decent balls there. But ideally, you want to be over 50 at the half, and so bowlers get frustrated if they're under 50. Even if you're a 110 average or wetter, if you're a 50, you know you don't have a big hill to climb to get to a good game. All right, O'Brien on box 1 of game 3, and he drops 7, leaves the 1, 3, 10, makeable spare. He's in there, and he gets it. Makes it look easy. Greg Packer from the other side of the world. Upside down relative to me. And James with another fill issue, a 2 for 12. Michael, my Huskies are driving me nuts. We had another escape this morning by Ivan, the purebred Husky. They found a spot to dig under the fence. I tried to fix it myself. I have a kid who helps me. I couldn't get down to put all the zip ties in to do it, so I made a temporary fix, and he got out this morning. Yes, but you're Southern Hemisphere, Greg. Southern Hemisphere, that's what I'm talking about. So 10 box for James 22. On the 3 pin leaves the 127. Casey McCool. So the funny thing is the dog's all over the place, and of course, as those of you know, I have mobility issues, so it's not going well. And then a neighbor kid gets out of his car, "Do you want me to help?" And of course, the dog goes right up to him, said, "Hi, how are you?" Won't come to me. And he grabbed his harness, and we were good. All right, 10 box for James, and he's at 32. He's got the lead right now by 7 pins in completed boxes. But now he's up against the spare 3. On the head pin. Nice ball. Leaves the 10. 9-pin strike. Looked good to me. Only the 10 pin. Standing alone. Leaves it. James is a fast bowler. He just goes. That time he gets the 10. He's perfect so far. 42 through 4. Spare and 3 10s. Just cleaning up those pins. And that's another 9 drop. Can't get that pin to go. He's regretting missing that 10. That cost him 9 pins. And what could have been a great fill. Oh, you're kidding me. Another 9-pin that does not go. Yeah, Greg, I'm on the same thing. We have diagnoses, but we're not sure about treatment yet. So big thing is we've got to decompress a bunch of nerves that are in my lower spine primarily and in the cervical spine. And fortunately, the good news is that they do believe I'll be able to regain most of my function. So, but we've got to figure out if it's going to be what kind of surgery, when, if we're going to start with something lighter first, I don't know. I just would like to get back to bowling at some point. All right, box 6, game 3. Look at this. Light hit on the head pin for Will. And a lot of pins falling slowly leaves. That's the 2 pin, I think. Or is that the head? I think it's the 2. All alone. Makeable spare. And he gets... Oh, there were 2 up there. I didn't see the back pins, but it doesn't matter. A spare is a spare. So Will is now at 53 in a ball in box 6. And puts 9 on the fill. That's how you fill that. Couldn't get a strike, but nothing wrong with the 62 after 6. Oh, sorry to hear that, Greg. Oh, there you go. All right, on our right. And that's a 10, so 72 through 7 for Koscielny. Going to see Steve Venetia, who I covered the other day, start off his match with a half Worcester. Koscielny just off the head pin. 4 horsemen plus a 7-8. And this is the time of my calling a match when I wish I brought a pillow. Not to sleep, but for my back. All right. 4 horsemen plus a 7-8. Look at this. He went to the inside, didn't pick up that back 3. Well, good luck with that, Greg. Us old guys start getting a lot more poking and prodding than we had when we were younger, and it's no fun. Waiting on balls to come back. The one I enjoyed recently was having nerve conduction tests and EMG. That was pleasant. All right, we're lacking balls here, so Greg, let's be optimistic. I understand your fear. I've seen that up close and personal. But let's be optimistic. I just went through it a little myself. They did find a tumor on my one vertebrae, but they're convinced it's benign. It's just causing some of the problems. So that made me feel better. But when they first said that was not something I wanted to hear. All right, so we have a slight delay in the action here. In the meantime, Steve Venezia is at 19 through 2. No, Greg, I'm sorry to hear that. My father is still around, is suffering from dementia now, but earlier this year he was diagnosed with liver cancer, and they were successful at getting it out. So, and he's clear completely with some ablation therapy. But, you know, even at 84, that's not something you want to have to deal with. You know, I'll sidetrack here a little bit. Stay with me. I don't want to lose viewers. But I was getting discouraged because of the mobility issues I've been fighting lately. And then a friend of mine came up from Florida with his husband, who was being treated at Brigham and Women's in an experimental program. And he's about my age, but he developed ALS a year ago. And it's hard to see because his arms, after a year, are completely paralyzed. He has some use of his hands. And all I could think of was that old saying that I felt bad because I had no shoes until I saw a man that had no feet. And seeing what he has to go through, what I go through is pretty mild compared to that. And so I always try to look at the upside, and not always successful at that, but that's what we try to do. And Greg, my thoughts are with you. And optimism, I think, is powerful. But you take it one step at a time. You're not at the finish line, and you don't worry about the finish line until you're there. So good luck, Greg. And thanks for always being on my shows. I love seeing you here. All right, and we just saw ACST bowler Ashley Breton, who works here, recovering balls for Will. And we're still at a pause in Game 3. We are in Box 8 for the home bowler, Will Koscielny. Yeah, I don't recommend cutting out assist yourself. It's a manly thing to do, but it's one of those things when if you try to do that, you get halfway through it and you're going to be wondering what you were thinking. Hey, still waiting on balls here, and Will's looking at that setup to try to get a 10. He has the 3-6-10 setting up for him. Danny Finn, the commissioner, running down. Meantime, we're seeing Lori Canny, Charlie Collins' mom, bowling in lane 21. Her first box. And we see her trying to aim at that 1-2-10. 1-2-7, I'm sorry. And she'll take an 8 box on that. Yeah, I hear you, Greg. You gotta, I deal with it too. My grandfather passed of pancreatic cancer. I got to witness that. So I'm very, very hopeful that it is the more likely benign situation for you. Just remember that. Statistically, it's more likely to be benign. There's a spare for Lori Canny. All right, Danny's got it. That's all right. I'm filling air. So when the bowlers are there, the show becomes about the announcer. Although my general philosophy is the show is about the bowlers, not the announcer. So I'm here to document, not to make a show of myself. All right, so yeah, you take the box over. Yeah, you take James the box. You play the box over. So the sweep came down early. He had 7 pins down, but the rule is that when you have equipment malfunction, then you play the box over again. I'm so sorry to hear that, Greg. Those are memories that stay with you. And that's a good recovery by Will on a head pin. Still has 7 down, but it's a better setup. But maybe it wasn't. The head pin or the wood didn't work for him. We're back in the action in Game 3. Will Koscielny hosting James O'Brien in the ACST Class B South Division. Week 6 of these matches. I don't have the standings right up here. And Koscielny's at 81 through 8. On the head pin. Drops another strike. So that 9 box, that is his second big strike here. Solid hit. When he hits one, he hits one. There's no question. I know how, Greg, I know how memories are. I'm in the middle of writing an anthology of all of my songwriting over the years. And some of my old songs that are going to be included in the anthology bring back a lot of painful memories, and sometimes writing, as I do, is very emotional and very trying to do, but hopefully the product is good. That puts Will at 101. He spares in the 10th, and with a 9 fill, Will Koscielny has a 120 string. He's come back strong after that initial 114. All right. I hope you guys don't mind us sidetracking a little bit. We're all friends here. So James has a battle here to go. He's at 52 through 5. He needs to get to 121, and that's 69 pins. Greg, I'm excited to be doing this. You know, I'm not retired yet. Even though I've been in my business now for 40 years in the financial planning business. So I still love it, but mentally I'm kind of ready to next steps. And next steps for me are starting to look an awful lot. James, that gave you, was that a 10? Was that a 10? All right.
It's a 9, right?
I thought so.
Yeah.
All right, so a 9. Yeah, we're getting cold here. All right, we're doing some score correction here. So James has 4, 6, 7 split, but look at that wood by the 6 pin. That'll sweep it over. And he does. He played that precisely. Yeah, Greg, you're just a kid compared to me. Not that I'm that old. But I'm hoping to spend the future years busy, and then he puts 7 in the fill. Hopefully back to bowling and doing writing and playing some small venues, doing some songwriting and, you know, hanging out with the music group. Something I've done in the past and really like doing. It's not time for summer solstice there. You still have a few weeks, right? right, so did not pick up the spare there. And that's how you do the 1-9 that we talked about before. And James, 78 through 7. 10 box puts him at 88. He's up 7 pins. But he's up against a 20 box and a 19 box, so he needs a big out finish here. First ball on the head pin. It's a head pin split for James. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Got a bid off. And James made his dissatisfaction with the way that pin rolled known. So he'll be open in the 9th. Just the 6-10 left. Goodbye. 98 through 9 for James. It's possible, but he needs a double strike now. James is going to need a in there, and that will give the game to Will. So Will had a slow start. Another head pin split for James. That couple of missed 9s really loom large in this string for James. And 2 pins left. Just the 2-7. And that'll stay up. So 106 for James O'Brien. Great effort. Good bowling. And Koscielny wins the next 2 points. So it's 4 points to 2 in this match. Will Koscielny has 328 for his total. And it's gotten tight, folks. It's 331 for O'Brien. And Koscielny wastes no time in getting game 4 underway. We have a 3-pin match for total here, so this is going to come down to it. Koscielny drops 8, leaves the 4-7, and takes the wood off the deck, but that pin was already down, so nothing else. And ball through the goalpost, so an 8 box. All right, waiting on balls. Box 2, game 4. Coming up. Will Koscielny. He's got the lead right now in points, but he's down 3 pins in total. So this one's anybody's match right now. Will hit the 3-pin and drop 5. 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. Okay, going to the ocean again. Want to settle that down, get on the head pin, get an out here. Nobody wants 4 and 5 boxes. That's a good adjustment, and that'll be an 8. So 16 through 2. Good job by Will to correct that. Those of you who may be watching who aren't terribly familiar with Candlepin, if you do the math behind it, it's just 60 feet from the foul line to the head pin, and it's a very small angle. If you were to place the ball at the center and measure the angle to this 10 pin or to the 7 pin with the line down the middle, I'm taking us back to trigonometry, aren't I? It's roughly about a 1.5 degree angle either way, so it doesn't take much to get the ball way off the mark. So you got to really respect the bowlers when they're picking up single pins and showing precise shots like that. It's not as easy as it looks. 7 for 23. And that's why we love the game here. We're as New Englanders, and I'm an adopted New Englander. Everybody knows I'm from upstate New York. We don't like it easy. We don't want those big balls down there that can take out all the pins without even thinking about it. All right. Will Koscielny, head pin split. Triangle right and a 7 pin, and he is going for the wood, and it just takes a 10. Well, Greg, I'm glad. Yeah, that's good size, Greg. In my thinking, that is, well, it's 2.54 millimeters or centimeters to the inch, so a little under a half an inch, right? Will puts up an 8 for a 31, a 4, and look at this. This is a 2-9-10, wood by the 2. He hit the head pin. Yeah, that's what I figured, Greg. Look at this. Oh, wrong side. I think if he went to the left, he might have picked it up, but it's a long shot anyway. So Will be open for 4. It's got the 9-10 alone, and that'll be an 8 box. So a 39.5 for Koscielny. He had a remarkable comeback in Game 3. Think about this. He was at 43 at the half and put up a 120 game. So 7, that's almost 80 in the second half. So don't count Will out with a 40 half or under. All right, James O'Brien trying to regain his momentum here. He's bowling well, but he's lost 2 games. Puts one right on the head pin. And his reward is a 210 split, I think. Looks like a 210. He's got lots of wood. And he gets it off the wall. Got a break. I think he feels like he missed where he was going, but he got the ball to bounce off the wall and take it out. Casey McCool, welcome back. Wouldn't mind having you on the mic with me sometime if you want. All right, James on the 4 and takes out the triangle. As I've said many times, this is actually a makeable spare. I've done it a lot myself because I often have a bad first ball, but you don't want a bad second ball. So diamond plus the 10 pin for a 10. He put 3 on the fill, 13 for the first box, and he'll take a 7 for an even 20 for 2. It gives him a lead. And we're coming into box 3 of game 4, the penultimate game of this match.
Oh, wow.
And look at this.
There you go. Good job.
And we just saw O'Brien put a head pin down and ended up with a 7-8-10. He almost gets it. He kicked that pin over. I love watching James bowl. He's very animated. A lot of fun. Fun guy to hang out with too, and that will be a 9 for a 29. He's a real gentleman. A lot of fun to bowl with and to hang out with, and when he's bowling, he gets animated. Not in a bad way either. Here we go, box 4. He's at 29 through 3. That was another strike ball, but did not give him a strike. And he says, come on, to the pin. Get that pin down. He's got the 9 pin, I think it is, and he missed a single pin again. Single pins can be deadly. Third ball misses right. So that's a 9 box, 38 through 4. And he's got the lead, but not what he wanted. And if he's like me, this ball, I'm thinking, let's find out what the fill would have been. And that would have been a 7 fill if he picked up that single. But he didn't, so he's got another head pin split. He's 4 out of 5 on a head pin this half. He's trying the wood, doesn't work, so he opened in the 5th. And James will be under 50 as Will is, both under 50. And that's an 8. So halfway through game 4, James O'Brien has a 46-39 lead. Both bowlers unhappy with their first half. Anybody's game now. James hoping to pick up another 2, keep his lead in total intact, which he just expanded a little. Koscielny, first ball on a 3 pin, takes out 3. Still has the 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 9. Got to get in the pocket. He does. Did he get that to go? He did everything right, but it didn't help him. So Will looking at the 5 and 9. And he gets it. A little off to this left, but it was enough to take it. 49 through 6. So he's at 49 through 6, as I said. Okay, box 7. Still looking for a mark. Breaks up the split. Will it come forward? So nice head pin, and he's got a shot at a single pin. And that is the 3 pin, and I don't like that wood. But it worked. He got it to come off the wall. And I know Will's read was the same as mine on that because he hit it right at the pin. That's what you do. Go to the pin. But there's a good chance those 2 pieces of wood were going to split, which they did. But fortunately, one came back off the wall. So spare in the 7th for Will, his first spare of this game. And he's back on the head pin for the fill. And that's a Koscielny trademark hammer strike. No doubt about that one. When he gets them in there, they're big. That's a 20 box. So he is at 69 now through 7. And his first ball on the fill. He's in there again. Almost a double. 8 on the first ball. He's having another big second half like he did last time. Spare leave. Can he get it? He gets one. So nothing wrong with a 9 fill for a 19 box. He's at 88 through 8. But he sure would have liked to add that spare to add on. And he takes a 9. Will's at 97. Remember, he finished the first half at 39, so he's picked it up. Scott Douglas. How you doing, my friend? Love to see you sometime. All right, 97 through 9 for Will after a 39 half. One more box to go in game 4 for Will. Koscielny coming up, box 10. And just off the pocket, leaves a Caleri left. That's a 4 horseman right plus the 8 pin, so 1 3 6 10 and the 8 over to the left. It's makeable, but not always the easiest. Put it in that 1 2, and Will went fishing on that one, well off into the ocean. And no tuna for Will. He's takes a respectable 9 out of that. 106. So Will just put up a very respectable 67 second half. He likes lane 20, that's for sure. And 106 in the 4th. 434 through 4. James O'Brien coming up. Second half of game 4. Half Worcester left. Punched the 2-8. We saw him make this. He's coming in there again, and a little full on the head pin. Now we have a banana split. 4, 6, 7, 10. For the 10, he's got wood on the right, so maybe that's where you go. Try to get the 8. Anything else is luck. He'll take the 8. So O'Brien, J-O-B, at 54 through 8. He's up 6, but now he's up against the 20 box. And almost threw another half Worcester there, but got 5 down anyway. It was 1, 3, 4, 7, 9.
There you go. Take it.
See if he can make something happen here. And he's got to touch that head pin. He didn't. Another open box. Going for the 3. It's a brave shot. Back in the day, I used to get yelled at for doing that on the 3rd ball. But James was confident. He got the 10. And there you go. O'Brien, box 8. And he's down 5 pins right now. Head pin hit. And a 3-7, 3-9-10 split. Went in between. right, try to get something out of this. Got 2 of them. Actually, it was just a 3 and a 10. Another 10 for James. Great pinning, 74, but now he's down 14 pins. That 20 and 19 by Will were huge. O'Brien with a strike ball and does not get the strike for it. So a head pin and an ugly split. Takes the right, kicks something over, but it doesn't carry. Just noticed I have my score sheet with the wrong names on it. And there's a 10. 84 through 9. Right now, he needs 22 pins to tie 23 to win with 1 box. That's double strike. Come on, there's his strike number 1. He knows he needs a double. He gets the first one. Can he do it? Oh no. No, what I did here, Greg, is so he's got 6 in the first fill. So that'll give the game to Will, but not by much. And a 9 box, a 9 fill. And he's at 103. 105, I'm sorry. He was at 86. I'm off on my score a little bit by 2 pins somewhere.
At least it wasn't a spare fill.
$105, a 1-pin game here. 105 to 106. So what I did here, which was my mistake, is the sheet has a column for visiting bowler and for away bowler, and I put Will as visitor and James as home as I do, but then they bowled in opposite order, and I started putting the scores in the wrong columns. So I got it fixed now, but it's just a little ugly. I didn't use pen. Right, 2 points for Will. He's at 6 points to James 2. That was a tight one. And it's a 2-pin total. So everybody knows what that means. Basically, whoever wins this string is going to win the match. And a nice. And is he going to call that off? No, that's a 10. Okay. Second box, game 5. Will puts it on a 2-pin and leaves himself a 4 horseman plus an 8-9 in the back. Wood in there. Might be helpful. Got to hit that head pin. Does not. So still has the 1-3-8 and takes out the 3 and the 8, and that's a good 9 box for 19 through 2. Box 3. Will trying to maintain. See if he can win this game by more than 2 points, he'll get total. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. Those of us guys who have faces made for radio, we gotta make it up somewhere, right? All right, Koscielny on the 4-pin took out the 4 and the 8. He's got pretty much a whole rack up there. Trying to make a strike ball, and not quite. Did find the head pin that time. So still the 3, 6, 7. Gets the 6, so an 8 box. 10-9-8 for Will. 27 through 3. We're in the 5th game of this match. 5-game match. So far, Koscielny leads 6-2. 434, 436 in favor of O'Brien right now in total. That's 4 points. That's big. All right, so Will, nice head pin hit. 4-7-10 split. Double wood by the 4-7. I don't really like the angle of that one by the 4, but what choice do you have but to use it? So if it's me, I'm going to go for the end of that left wood. That's where he's going, and look at that. He just gently kisses the wood, takes out the 4 pin. And that's a nice 10 by Will. Greg, I can tell you what, everybody who knows me knows that I'm known for my long diatribes and rants, so I don't mind. 2 points in total.
Yeah, I was writing down the what he made in the second stream on 98.
Yep. Yeah, I had him backwards. So.
Oh yeah, his was 14.
Yep, you had the 98. Okay, Koscielny on the 3. Look at that bid. Almost picked up that really tough spare. But the 7 pin stayed up. $10.47. And Greg, one thing I'll add to that too. When you're going through challenging times, it is so meaningful to have good friends around you and supporting you. And I am so blessed with all my friends in the bowling community and people who call me sometimes, or I know I can call. And it makes a world of difference rather than trying to face these things by yourself. And that's what you need, is a good support network. And I'm fortunate to have one. Even if I am annoying sometimes. So, James dropped 5. Still has a 3 pin up. And he makes a 9. Greg, one of the things I fully admit that I'm guilty for is sometimes that I live alone right now with my dogs. My kids are nearby, but it's a little scattered. And I was a single dad. I raised them by myself. They're all adults now with their own lives. But sometimes, when things are quiet and I'm looking, I start going through my phone directory. And all of my friends know first one to answer is it. And they're all pretty good about that. Those lifelines are very important. And Greg, you have more than that.
430s.
That's 2 points. 2 pins.
Huh?
2 pins on total.
Yeah.
All right, head pin hit for James. And a split. Oh, nice try. And a 10. One pin game in the third box. James with 26, Koscielny with 27 through 3. It's only 2 pins for total. This is a nail biter right now, gang. James on the 3 pin takes out the right side, leaves 6 pins up. Good point. Good point, Greg. Now you're trying to get an out here for James. And that's not bad. That's a 9. 35. Gives Koscielny a 2 pin advantage, and through these 4 completed boxes, we are now tied on total. 5th box. O'Brien trying to drop a bomb. What's that on the head pin? 7-10 split. Stack of wood. By the 7, he's going to try to make it work. Gets the 10 with the ball off the wall. But no mark for James. And a 10 box. So we are halfway through Game 5. It's 47-45 in favor of Will Koscielny. They were 436 to 434 in total after Game 4, by my count. Which means Will's picked up 2 pins. It's tied. We're tied in total. Every pin counts, folks. Koscielny starts off with a hit on the 3-pin. Four horsemen plus the 10. Got to kick that head pin over to the 4 or the ball, but he went to the wrong side, so an open box. 1, 2, 10. No room to waste any pins in this half. And Will has an 8.
Don't just 4 splits.
I know. I kept playing games like that. And like punches right there.
Koscielny at 55 in box 6. He's coming in at 7. That looked like that would be one of his hammer balls. He just a little late on the head pin, but not bad. 3-6 for the leave. He's in there, and he gets a spare. That is the first spare of this game, and will that be decisive? Will's open 4. Total is critical here. It's Phil total I'm talking about. And Will puts up 7 in a total. That's big. He had a strike spare combination and then a 9. So a 7 puts him at 72. James is forced to mark now. And throws that one away. So he's got the 3-6-7 split up there. Can he get a piece of it? He gets all of it. Thought he was going to go wide, but he picked them all up. That was nice. 82 through 8. 2 boxes to go. James is going to have 1 mark anyway if Will doesn't just pins out here. And he's on the head pin, and it's the castle left. We'll get you saying that up in Canada too. Okay. 4, 5, 7. And I don't know if that's good or not. All right, Will says it's good. I don't think it hit the channel, so I think Will's call is good on that one. And a 10. I do. So the ball can be over the channel as long as it doesn't touch the floor, and it's still good. You got to look quick to see those sometimes. So 6 to start, diamond left. He really would like this mark. 2, 4, 5, 8. You can get in there. Everything but the 5. You put a good effort on that one. But O'Brien is going to have to spare at least 1. And a 9 box, 101 for Will Koscielny. And he put up a 535 for total. All right, so James needs a 99 string to tie, a 100 string to win. He's at 45, and I'm talking about total. So he has to mark to win the string. Starts out with a ball on a 2-pin, leaves a Cagliari right. Needs a mark. He's put a great bid on that one. He's right in the pocket. But the 8 and the 10 stayed up. If all he does is 10s, he can get a 95. So he needs a spare in here. And that's an 8. 53 through 7. Now he's up against that spare 7 that Will put up. So now he needs a spare 8 to tie. And all 10s. Nice ball. Come on. Give him something. Which James is not happy about that. That was a good ball. He's got the 7, 8, 10 left. There's wood there that is going to have to come into play. He's in there. He gets it. Nice spare by O'Brien. That was a tough one. I know there was wood lined up there, but that was not an easy spare by any means. He had to play it perfect. Needs at least an 8 fill and 10s to win the string. First ball. Okay. He's getting some breaks here, but that's 7. He's going to need another one now. He's a 70 through 7. And to get to 101, he needs another mark. We were tied on total at the halfway point of the string. James is ahead after 4 strings. All right, 8 box for James. Definitely needs a mark now. 78 through 8. He's got 2 opportunities here. A spare will wrap it up for him. That's all he needs. But if he doesn't get the spare, that will give it to Will, and it'll be a 12-2 victory for Will. He's in there. Can't break the split. Okay, that's what happens in Millis. We get a lot of those. This is a 2-6 wood that could guide. He's going in there. Just misses. Wood carried over. Did not pick up that back pin. He's going to have to mark in the 10th. And he has a 9 box. We are in the last box of this game. Through 9 boxes, Will is up 92 to 87, and he put up a 101. James needs a spare 4 to tie, a spare 5 to win. If he ties, he'll win total by 1 pin. So this is it. We're down to that last box. And he's in there. Good ball.
Another split.
And as he says before me, another split. I like the wood, though. He put down what looked like a great strike ball. If he can get this will be one for the ages. That's the 3-7. He's in there. Gets the spare. Clutch bowling here. O'Brien with a 3-7 split. Okay, that puts him at 97. 4 ties the string, 5 wins the string. Down to the last ball. He's in there, and it's 7 or 8. James O'Brien will come back after a hell of a battle to win game 5. 97 to 8, 105 to 101. That gives him 2 points. And for total, O'Brien survives to win 541 to 535. And that's an 8 to 6 clutch victory by J.O.B., James O'Brien, and some excellent bowling by Will Koscielny, too. So I call an 8 to 6 a gentleman's tie. What a match. What a match. Back and forth. Great bowling by both. And to summarize, game 1 went to Koscielny. Or went to O'Brien, I'm sorry. 127 to 94. Big game became critical at the end. Koscielny came back in game 2, 114 to 98. And won game 3, 120 to 106. Won game 4, 106 to 105. And as you just saw, O'Brien came back for a clutch mark on a split in the 10th for a 105-101 victory and 541 to 535 for the total. What a bowling match by these guys. Thank you for everybody joining us on the live feed. and on the recording, and Nico will put this up on the Candlepin Bowling Network as well. So thanks for joining me. This is Dan Castle. We had a great match to watch here. I am live at Ryan's Family and Amusements in Millis. Come on down. Lots of great bowling here. And until the next match, we will see you on the lanes. I will be on at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Thank you.